welcome to BJJ Boost Podcast, Episode 1. We have officially launched the BJJ Boost app on the iOS store. Now, we're still waiting for Google Play, and it's been kind of a nightmare to actually get through that process, which to me is funny because I thought it would be the other way around. I thought I would be on Google Play and iOS would take me forever. But either way, it looks like we're still about a week away from Google Play. Hopefully, we'll have a launch here soon and be able to make a big post about that. But for today, I would like to dive into just some of the elements that this app utilizes and how it's helped me expand my game and even areas of my life and and given me a different perspective. Like, it's cool because as I've used this app, there's things inside of it that I didn't even think that I would enjoy or utilize, but now I find myself using those and getting some really good success from using those. So let's just kind of go into some of the areas. Right now, I want to look at my daily task. There's 8 daily tasks. And when you first start using this app, when you download the app and start to dive into it, it's going to be very overwhelming. And it should be, because here's the thing, right? You're training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is one of the most overwhelming things that any person on the planet can do. It's teaching your body to do all these maneuvers and moves and figure all these things out, right? All while somebody's trying to kill you. And if anyone's training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they fully understand that it's very overwhelming in the beginning. And if you don't just slow your mind down and take it one step at a time, you're going to burn out. And I don't want you guys to burn out, okay? I want this app to work for you. I want your jiu-jitsu to work for you. And the only way that that's going to happen is if you don't look at this entire app and try to figure out how the app works in a week, okay? It's a journey and it's a process. So these podcasts, I want you to be able to watch them and maybe take one or two things away from them and start holding yourself accountable, because here's the whole purpose of the app: accountability, tracking, and trying to live by a code where you don't lie to yourself, okay? You should always be expanding your game. You should always be expanding your app. You should always be expanding your life. I mean, that's just the base. To me, that's the basic fundamentals of my life, right? Like, I don't want to keep existing and continually go forward in my life and in 10 years be at the same place that I was 10 years prior, okay? So don't try to accomplish everything in a week. Try to accomplish one little task every day and watch the areas of your life grow. So let's dive into one area that I've really enjoyed that's helped me a lot. Is the drill tab is one thing that I didn't expect to see as much. Like, I didn't expect to use it in this way, and this is a really cool way for me. So you can kind of see all my check-ins right now. And the cool thing is like, if I click any check-in, you'll be able to see exactly what I drilled, right? So like for this session, I drilled 100 Kimuras, which put me at 400 of 1,000 to required to complete the quest. Okay, so what I want you to think about is whatever you drill in class with your professor, whatever you're doing, you're in class and they're like, all right, you're gonna drill this knee cut pass. You guys break off into your group and drill some knee cut passes 2 or 3 times. Don't count that as your drill point for the day, okay? I know in the beginning some people are going to use the app, and that's fine. Like, if you want to check in and put, hey, I drilled 10 knee cuts because my instructor showed me that, perfectly fine. Like, whatever it's going to take for you to start creating good habits, do that. But understand that you don't want to just keep doing the same thing if you want your game to go to the next level, okay? So for me, right now we've created a quest. And later on in this episode, I'll show you what that quest kind of entails. But I'm on stage 3 of that quest, which requires me to do 1,000 Kimuras. Now, the cool thing that I really liked about this drill tab is it was able to show me and track every day where I'm at with those. Okay, so um, where let's see, August 9th, we'll go to August 10th. I drilled, like I wasn't able to go to class this day or I wasn't able to drill. So I went down in my basement and with Mandy, I drilled 50 Kimuras, which put me at 450 of 1,000. Sometimes you just got to find the best areas to do these things. So the next day I completed 150 Kimuras, which put me at 600 of 1,000. And it's cool, so I can track exactly where I'm at with my drilling, so I don't have to like write it in a journal. I didn't even think about that when I created the app and started to use it. I did not think that that would be one of my favorite features, but it has been. It's been, I mean, all these different, I did drilled the 50-50 leg lock defense. That's where I started before I dove in to drilling the quest, right? So when I first started drilling, we did a 50-50 leg lock defense for 6 minutes today. But once I started getting into the quest, then it was okay. I drilled 500 closed guard arm bars so I could complete stage 1, which was drilling 1,000. And basically, let's see, we'll go to July 12th. Yeah, so I drilled 500 more arm bars, which gave me the 1,000. I started out using this drill tab as what I was drilling extra outside of regular class. And now I'm using it to track my quests. But you can use it to do anything outside of whatever your professor is teaching. And to me, that was one of my favorite parts of this entire process and using this app. All right. Now, other cool thing is you can jump over and you can see exactly where everybody else is, right? So like right here, I have 19 total check-ins. Chris has 2 check-ins, Ian has 3, Austin has 7, Derek has 1. You can kind of see where everybody else is at on the app and their accountability, which is a really cool thing. And then I can dive in, right, to any of these. Like if I click Austin's and I click his tab, I can see what he did for the day. And the cool part about this is it gives you 2 different things, right? As someone trying to grow and expand their game, it's going to give you ideas. Okay, you know what? I like what they did. I'm going to go do that too, right? That's the whole part of expanding your game. So if you're not even if you're sitting here and you're struggling with ideas for that day, you can go see what somebody else did, or you can have your teammates on there and you could say, well, dang, my teammate's done this. If I want to start beating my teammate, I have to be able to increase and improve my drilling or my live rolling or whatever it is. That's an amazing feature that you can use on this app to give you more ideas every day. Now, if you're an instructor, you can go in there and see what your students are doing. That to me is like one of the coolest things. I love diving in and clicking on my tab for one of my students and seeing what they accomplished for the day and what they're thinking and how they're expanding their game. So the drill tab has been a really cool tab for me. The battle tab's another one where you can kind of see the progression of what people did for that day. So let's dive into this real quick before I get too far ahead. When I first started doing the battle tab, all I did was list the amount of rounds that I did. Okay. But if you'll notice as you go on, like let's jump over to the content tab and we'll jump into the journals. Okay. There is a blueprint recap and there's a monthly blueprint. And this is a really cool thing for me because I didn't even think that I would enjoy this process as much as I did. But when I completed the monthly blueprint, which it takes about 5 minutes, a lot of these journals will take you 5 to 10 minutes of your life. And all you have to do is one a day, okay? But every month at the beginning of the month, I have to complete a monthly blueprint. and one of my goals was to complete 100 live rolling rounds. Okay, so didn't even think anything about this, didn't even connect these two things together, but I was like, all right, I want to complete 100 live rolling rounds this month. And then what I did was I started using the battle tab to track my rounds. And I didn't even think I would enjoy that because I've never really tracked my rounds. But now, as you can see, I'm starting to track my rounds as the month went on, right? And now I'm at 45 rounds for this month. Okay. And then yesterday, I did 10 3-minute rounds, and that put me at 68 total rounds for the month. Okay, which is really cool because we're at the 17th of the month, and I'm sitting at 68 total live rolling rounds. I never thought that I would actually look into that or analyze that stat, but it shows me that I can actually hit this goal and that it's a very doable goal that before I didn't even do anything. I just existed, right? I showed up to class. Some days I felt sluggish. Some days I half-assed things. Some days I didn't put the effort in. Some days I put the effort in. But now I'm showing up with a purpose, okay? I'm showing up with a purpose that I have to drill 100 Kimuras tonight and I have to complete 5 or 10 more rounds if I want to accomplish my goal. And now I'm running off the app programming instead of running off my mental programming, which is your mental programming's always going to cheat you, okay? Unless you just have the best programming in the world to say, you know what, every day I'm going to show up and I'm just going to keep improving myself and I'm going to put the most effort in. We're all human, and we're all going to have our days where life kicks our ass, okay? Like I just had the sewer line it broke in our building and I had to pay $2,200, and I didn't want to be present. I didn't even want to show up to class because I was so exhausted from dealing with that. But I was like, I got to hit this. I have to hit this goal of 100 rounds. So to me, that monthly blueprint combined with tracking my numbers has actually been a really cool process. But again, you could dive in and you can see where everybody else is at and what they're thinking with their live rolling rounds. So all of these things are like really cool tools. And I was talking to one of my students the other day, and they said, "Man, Chad, the app is almost too much for me. Like I feel like it's all jiu-jitsu related and I can't accomplish all these things." But here's the thing with life, right? Like we're not going to be able to accomplish all the things that we want to accomplish every day. And we can't put that pressure on our shoulders that we have to every day make sure that we do all these things, okay? Like every day I know I'm not going to be able to live roll, and every day I know I'm not going to be able to drill. So take the pressure off your shoulders that you feel like you have to do these things, and instead reset your mind and enjoy the process, okay? Like I truly love and I enjoy doing one journal a day, okay? So right now I'm on 39 total check-ins. So when I did my monthly blueprint, I set my goal that I was going to hit basically exactly how many days were in the month. So whatever the amount of days were in the month, I was like, I'm going to hit one journal a day and make sure I reach that goal. And right now I'm on track. I don't think I've missed one journal this month. And journaling's not for everyone, but one thing that journaling has done for me, not between life and jiu-jitsu, because you have life journals and you have jiu-jitsu journals, and you can pick either one. All you have to do is complete one journal a day. But it's helped me really expand my mind, and it's allowed me to take things off my plate that were like building up in my mind that maybe were creating frustration, maybe creating worry, like different things, or even things in jiu-jitsu that I was thinking about that I needed to get that into a piece of paper, right, or onto a computer that would allow me to free my mind up, and now I can actually start thinking about the other things, and at any time I can just go back to those things. So any journal you do is going to send you a copy to your email, and inside my email I created a folder, and I have all 39 of my journals just sitting in there. So anytime I want, I can go back to those things and I can recap on them and see, where I was at that point with whatever I was working on. So the journal tab for me, like we'll dive over here again, is really simple. All you're gonna do is click begin and complete a journal. Like it's when I used to try to journal in a notebook, whether it was in class or wherever, you show up and you're like, man, I can't think of anything. Or you write like little things like, oh, I like the professor showed me this arm bar today. But with these journals, they really they truly dive in to like each one of them has 8 to 14 questions. And they're going to really try to like target the areas of where your brain is thinking, okay? You're going to give just a one sentence opening line to whatever these journals are, like a gratitude journal. Um, you're gonna hit the begin tab, and it's just gonna be like, who and what are you journaling? And whatever you type from there, it's gonna allow your brain to dive into question after question after question, and see kind of how you can explore that exact thought. And then all you're looking to do is take one little thing away from that journal. That's it. Like whatever it is, I was angry the other day and I let out all my frustration in this journal. And at the end of the day, I just realized like there's no point for me to keep holding on to that anger and frustration. It's not doing me any good. Okay. So I was able to let go of that anger and frustration, put it into a journal, and then I immediately was able to dive over and start focusing on areas that will actually improve my life. So all these journals I've completed now have made a big difference in the way that not only do I look at my jiu-jitsu, but also the way I look at my family, the way that I look at my business. I approach my family, my business, my jiu-jitsu with a more calm, um, more like dedicated mindset. Like I'm more intentional because I'm looking at the areas where I'm actually making mistakes and making excuses. And that's the whole purpose of the journal is to kind of just free your brain a little bit and to see things that you're not seeing, right? Like think about like walking around a block. Like you could be standing in front of your house, and just because you can see the front of your house doesn't mean that the back of your house isn't on fire. Doesn't mean that the side of your house doesn't have all this mold that is making the house look horrible. Sometimes we have to walk around the block in our lives and see things from all different angles to be able to expand our life to the next level. And if you can have that mindset when you journal, you'll get a lot of success out of journaling. So that gives us kind of what we do with our focus. You complete one journal a day, and then you're going to log into the focus point and make sure that you just check in for one point that you completed that journal for the day. You'll click the plus sign, you'll put your 1 point in, you'll put a brief summary. I like to put a picture in. But the big thing that I want to make sure that you guys are doing after you complete each task is that you go back over to the content and you click your daily task, okay? What you need to do is when you click your daily task, like your focus, all right, you need to click complete, because not only do you get your daily task point, you need to make sure you're getting your achievement point for that day. So after you complete a task, jump over to the daily task tab, click complete, and then here in your profile, you'll be able to see, oh, okay, I've completed 230 activities. I'm on a 29-day streak of making sure I'm hitting activities. You could see your activity history, right? Just to see, okay, you know what, I did hit the 6 out of 8 daily tasks today. And all these little things just keep you accountable. Don't get overwhelmed with them. Enjoy the journey, right? Like take the overthinking out. That's what the app's designed to do, is take your overthinking out and free your mind so that you can be more intentional in other areas of your life. Like, okay, I did my journal for the day. Okay, I did my drilling for the day. I did my battle for the day. I don't have to sit here and think about the areas that I'm slacking in or that I'm not accomplishing in my life, I can go take my wife out to dinner now. I can go take my kids to the park. I can go study something else that will help improve my life. That's the whole purpose of this journey, and that's what I've really enjoyed using this app. Um, but we'll dive into some other points, and then we'll wrap up this session. And like I said, we're working on creating the studio. I want to do more of these podcasts. I want to help you basically be able to use this app in a way that it helps you and it doesn't overwhelm you. Okay, so the fuel tab is is the daily greens. Okay, so basically every day I do my daily greens. It's a Let's see, we'll jump over here and I'll just kind of show you a brief area of the daily greens. I'll also show you guys the quest real quick. These things, you won't be able to unlock some of these different things until you send me a message, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or through the app. But if you want access to some of these things, you're just going to have to send me a message or follow some of the unlocked content. But with the BJJ Boost Fuel, it's a monthly subscription, $49.95. The greens will be sent to your house every month. Okay, and at the beginning of this year, I started taking these greens, and I had a lot of issues like with stomach issues, and Jiu-Jitsu is just a very physical sport. A lot of sweating, a lot of physical contact, and I had to get to a place where like I figured something out that helped my digestive system, kind of helped me do a detox and built my immunity up a little bit. So we had this company that we partnered with, and it's really cool. All it is I do one scoop of these daily greens. I just do one little powder scoop into my flavored water. I prefer flavored water. It's whatever you guys want, but I just do one scoop in there, and then I drink one daily greens a day. And the one thing I've really noticed is I have a lot less stomach issues, and I feel like I have more energy. And the other cool thing is I don't feel like I've gotten sick at all this year. And I'm not saying that this is part of that. I just feel like I believe in it, and it's not something that everyone has to do. And you don't even have to buy my product. You can go buy it from anywhere that you want. But as long as you're getting your daily greens, you're going to get one fuel point per day. If you buy it through us, we're going to send you a free BJJ Boost t-shirt with your first order, and then every order after that, it'll be just shipped to your house every month. So that's how the greens work. The recover tab's a really simple tab. Every day you should be doing some type of recovery. Okay, so every day it's like I completed a 4-minute ice bath. I did a 30-minute hot tub session. I did 4 minutes on the balance beam for my leg stretching. Each one of them can be different. Some days I do better, some days I do worse. This day I did a 4-minute ice bath, a 15-minute hot tub. I did 10 minutes of Theragun, 10 minutes of stretching, 10 minutes of my neck massager. The big thing is you should be expanding yourself, and you should take your recovery serious if you want to be in the sport for the long period. And this just kind of held me accountable to making sure that every day I was hitting some type of recovery. And again, you can kind of see where everybody else's recovery is. And when they're doing the recovery side of it, you can say, well, hey, I really like that idea. And then you can incorporate it yourself. We're all on the same team, we're kind of against each other because it's still a game that we want to get the highest score, or we want to do the most reps. But at the same time, like, we're also still on the same team that we want to steal ideas from each other and make sure that we're improving. All right, the expand tab is another one that I've absolutely really enjoyed. Okay, every day you have to watch one video. Every day, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, whatever it is you want. But the big detail you need to do is you need to screenshot one thing that you're learning. Okay, so one detail, like this detail right here, when you see that screenshot, it should bring up that exact thing where you're like, man, I really like that. Like, I like that detail and I want to incorporate that in my game. So when I bring up this screenshot, I really enjoyed watching this video and how he pulled the leg in, but not only how he pulled the leg in, how he kept the knee bent towards him so that his opponent couldn't just clear the knee line and get outside and be able to free his leg. So each time that I see one of these expand points, it allows me to kind of relive that video in that moment, and I can read the little summary, and from that I can see how that can improve my game, right? I can declare that detail and how I want to apply that to my game. So the expand tab is one of my favorite tabs. Like all these tabs I know I say are my favorite tabs, but you should see value in each one of these tabs, some more than others. And if you can't accomplish all 8 in a day, you should be trying to hit 2, 3, or 4 and be really steady on it. So to me, every day I 100% am trying to get the achieving that expand tab and getting that point. Now that gives us into the meditate tab. This is one area I started 8 months ago. I started meditating. I have ADHD. I have a hard time focusing. I have a hard time slowing my brain down. I have a hard time being present in the moment. So I'm like the worst candidate for meditation. But when I started doing it, it's almost impossible. Then I started doing some research on meditating, and I started just taking 5 to 10 minutes a day to meditate. Now I'm up to 15 to 20 minutes of meditation, but it's the most fulfilling thing at the end of my day. I like to meditate at the end of the day before I get ready to go to bed. And I just basically walk myself through how to clear my mind, how to let go of all the things in my life. And I've noticed that I sleep better at night and I don't wake up as anxious anymore. So I encourage you to meditate every day. And I encourage you to get your meditation point one of two ways. You can meditate or you can study meditation so that you can learn to be better at meditating. But that's how you get your meditation point. And then the person tab is another one that I really enjoy because it's very simple. Every day, all I want you to do is find one person in your life and I want you to compliment that person. I want you to encourage them. I want you to be grateful for them. I want you to appreciate them. Think about one person every day to encourage or appreciate, and think about the effect that will have in your life. Every day I think about, like, a lot of times it's me picking Mandy, but a lot of other times it's me picking my friend and just sending them a really nice message and trying to be genuine. Don't do it like a robot. Don't just be like, "Hey, you're a really great person. I hope you have a great day and go out there and win." Like, really think about what that person means to you and think about like the moment or something that took place that was special with you and that person, and send them a message. Okay, put it takes a lot of these tabs. The funny thing about all of this is all of these tabs take 5 to 10 minutes max to complete every day. You can't tell me that you don't have the time in your day. You can't tell me that you don't have the time to get on this app and to improve your life and hit these 4 to 8 daily tasks and complete a journal. All you're telling me when you say that is you don't want to take your life to the next level. You want to keep existing in the same frame for the rest of your life and that you're happy with that. And that's okay. But for me, I want to find a way to improve myself and improve all the things around me and take my life to the next level. But that's just me. All right. So, for the last part of this podcast, I do want to jump into the network real quick. There's a good network here where, as the app grows, you'll be able to communicate with other people. You'll be able to post footage and talk about your footage and talk about other people's footage. And you'll even be able to add your team in here. So if you want to have, whatever your team is, we can add that. And then you can have whatever chat channels you want to have in there. so that you can communicate with your teammates and kind of like track their progression. So just send us a message if you ever want to have your team tab added in there so you can have some teammates to talk to. But for the last tab, we will dive into the Battle of the Sword quest. Okay, this has been, I mean, it's funny because when I came up with this quest, I didn't think that I would do the quest. I actually didn't even think that I would use the app when I first started. And if I'm being honest, I was like, I'm going to build this app, but I've got so many things going on in my life that I'm just going to let the app grow and see what happens. And then I started diving into the app, and now I'm using it every day. Every day, I find myself hitting the daily tasks, doing the daily journal, and I even dove into this quest and have fallen in love with it. So as the app progresses and goes on, we're going to have more quests, okay? But here's what you have to understand. Every time you complete a quest, you're going to get an official item by BJJ Boost for that quest, okay? So for this quest, when you complete it, you're going to get the BJJ Boost backpack. It's this really cool military backpack that we had created that says, it's going to say BJJ Boost on the logo. We're even going to add your last name on it. So like whatever your last name is, we're going to have a Velcro patch made, and that's going to go on the bag. The BJJ Boost logo is going to go on the bag, and we're going to ship that bag to you once this quest is completed, okay? But again, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, hold yourself accountable, be honest, and do the steps correctly, okay? So right now, I'm on stage 3, drill 1000 Kimura submissions from close guard. Post a 1 minute in the drilling chat of your first 20 reps and another 1 minute video of your last 20 reps, just so that you can kind of see the progression as you drill these reps. And for this quest, there's 8 stages, and then you'll have completed the quest. And all you have to do is send us a message, and we'll have a small little conversation with you. We'll get your name and we'll get your address, and then we will, we'll package that item for whatever quest it is, and we will send it to you. And that item will only be exclusive through the quests. You'll never be able to get it again. So you can go to our merch store right here if you want in the app, and there'll be merchandise on there. Like we have a t-shirt on there right now. You can even unlock like the quests. You can unlock some of the instructional content through the website, but you won't be able to buy any of the quest items in the merchandise store. You'll have to accomplish the quest and earn that item, and it's going to be more exclusive and a little bit more rare when you do it that way, and it feels a little bit more earned. So to me, that's one of my favorite things about the app is kind of like earning it and working for it, accomplishing it, and then getting an item that other people don't have because I put the work into it. So I really appreciate everybody watching this episode, and I want you just to understand, when you download the app, the one thing you want to do is to make sure you complete your profile. After you complete your profile, it's the best thing that you can do is dive into the boot camp. This boot camp was designed to show you exactly how to use the app, okay? And I know it seems like a lot, but you can read the text or you can listen to the audio. You can turn the audio on and turn your phone off. You can play it in your car. But once you complete every step of this boot camp, you'll send us a message and we'll just kind of have a quick talk about it. Once it's complete, you'll earn your certificate of completion for the BJJ Boost Boot Camp. We'll make sure that we mail you that certificate, and like I said, I appreciate everybody that's willing to put the time into this app and to truly hold themselves accountable and to expand their game, their life, and this app in every way possible. So again, I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.